Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a little while. As you can see, we're filming on a different perspective. You're not seeing me quite in the same way. The window is further over there, looking very bright even though it's a horrible grey rainy day, but never mind that. The room has been redecorated, although there are still remnants such as the steps where I'm still doing odd jobs in the room itself, but you can see the transformer curtains a little bit better. So I'm getting on. That's one of the main reasons why, again, I haven't been on doing a review or any haul vids. And talking of haul vids, they actually will decrease quite rapidly. At the moment I've got more important things to do. Got to change my vehicle, which obviously the fact that my other vehicle's on the way out kind of makes going to work in it a priority rather than risking using it too much going across bumpy fields where it's not in the best of health. So haul vids certainly why in the meantime for that are pretty much out. I also don't find that I have the same need to go to the boot fairs as much. I might start doing them again, but I might do it, and I hate to admit it, in a bit of a way that I might do it in a way to make some money, pick up some bits, maybe sell them on, not too much money, not trying to milk it like a dealer, but if I do I might just do it a little bit of that for a bit of fun. But that aside, one of the main reasons why I'm not really feeling the urge, which is quite a strange thing to sort of say, to actually go out and buy bots and find bots, is I have finally got my man cave. Now it's not completely finished, still got some bits and bobs to do, but what I'm going to do now is stop this bit of video and transfer, and hopefully I managed to cut this together okay, so that I'm going to show you my man cave so far, and you'll be able to see how I've sort of managed to do it, and also probably the reason why I'm not feeling quite the urge to go and find more robots. Okay, without further ado, I shall hand over to myself and give you a bit of a tour. Rightio, so having to film this on a camera instead of doing it on a mobile phone, that didn't work, but as you can see there's my prime picture up on the unit there. That just needs fitting up. Moving around, I'll just show you a quick glance at this side. There's some shelves there, but there'll be another unit there eventually, and the shelves will go higher up, and I shall end up putting some shelves up on that blank bit of wall there. But moving round, coming back round by the door, our first shelf shows a lot of the G1 bots. You've got G1 Scorponok, Powermaster Prime, Metroplex, as well as a lot of the more deluxe size Autobots and mini-bots. There's a boxed Powermaster Prime, which was the reissue one with the Apex armour. Managed to pick up at the boot fair. He's still in his box at the back there. We've got Primus, Dark Unicron, Jetfire, Ultra Magnus, Galvatron, reissue of Skylynx, who I haven't reviewed yet, so I might do a review of him at some point. We've got Mega Supreme at the back, Six Shot, a couple of the wreckers there, the G1 versions of Well and Robuster. A couple of notable little bots along the front here. We've got a couple of the Botcon mini bots. I believe that's one of them there, and I think the other one, which is Tap Out, is there. Just need the blue version of Bumblebee, which they released in that sort of set. Getting around, we got the 3 Brain Masters, which other European versions, but got those virtually complete, just missing the odd tyre off one of them. We got Triptychon, there's Overlord, Star Saber, who's missing his saber parts, the front of the jet. We still need to track them down. There's the knockoff Go Shooter Junior Headmaster. Moving round, we've got G1 Devastator with the upgrade parts, so it makes him a little bit bigger and a bit more articulated. Looking over the back, you've got Gigastorm and the later, like the newer version of Omega Supreme. Then we've got some of the other combiners. You've got Computron, you've got the Terracons behind him, you've got the Protector Bots in there as well, and right at the back, I don't know if we can just see his head sticking out the top there, we've got Superion, the aerial bots. Then we've got the Landcross combiners, a few of the Micromaster size combiners on the front there as well. There's G2 Megs behind the G2 Constructicons, which I've used my G1 combiner parts just to put them together. We've got Skystalker from the sort of 1.5 G2 sort of line. There's Ultimate or Optimal Optimus from Beast Wars over the back, and sort of next to him, but you can't quite make him out, is the G1 sort of colour version. You've got the Micromaster version of Devastator. Armada Megatron, looking really good. He's got his Minicon there, Leader 1 and his horns, virtually complete now. There's the Machine Wars Starscream behind him, and we've got Unicron at the back there. There's a Leader class Optimus Prime from the movie line behind the knockoff Masterpiece Red Alert, and of course the Shockwave, what was kindly given to me by Few, where he had a damaged version or wasn't working properly, so he sent me that and I got it sorted out. And next to that is the Darth Vader Death Star Transformer. Now I'll get into the next shelf. We've got more of the G1 Autobots. You've got Optimus Prime, who is a reissue one at the back there, although if you come round to the side there's the cab version which is attached to the trailer, which is the original proper G1 with long stacks. We've got the likes of Trailbreaker and Hoist at the back. There's all of the 5 Dinobots and Throttlebots and cassettes at the front. Moving along, Ratchet and Ironhide with the upgraded heads. A lot of the movie line bots. You've got Rodimus Prime complete, Perceptor, Blaster, there's Cup, as well as Hot Rod, the Triple Changers, the Monster Bots at the back there behind RC, who I've put in this section simply for the fact that she really should be in that section with the movie line G1 figures. Some of the junior Target Masters, and I believe moving into this side we're getting in, there's a bit of a mixture of bots. There's the G1 Headmasters and Target Masters, the bigger versions, some of the junior Headmasters and Target Masters in this side as well as the later Rescue Force bots. Wishing they did the other 2 jets so they could do almost like the Liar Kaiser combining mode, but got all 4 of the other versions anyway. The G2 mini bots and some of the other G2 bots. You've got G2 Sideswipe there, some of the light formers, and let's see what we got. Yeah, light formers like Deathwing at the back. There's a G2 Prime, who has now got his fists and his weapons, so that's good. Got Pyro at the back as well there. What other one? We've got the Turbo Masters as well. Going around there, there's a G2 Hero Prime, over the back there, and some of the other G2 bots. And I sort of mishmashed this into the G2 Decepticons as well. So you've got some of the Predator jets and G2 Hero Megs over the back, and the G2 Combaticons, more of the Predator jets, Hydra Head, and you've got Clench at the back there, Stalker, and then we're getting in, we've got a few of the Rock Lords and GoBots. This is sort of like, and then gets into a bit of a mishmash. We've got sort of like a bit of everything. There's some Beast Wars 2 versions of like the Dreadwind combining bots, but it's the G2 version. I think they were initially going to be Megatron and Starscream, but I'm not entirely sure that's quite what they're classed as. You've got some Beast Wars bots at the back, such as Optimus Prime, the monkey version, over the back. You've got the Transmetal version at the front there. Some of the animated Autobots as well as a few different ones, such as Predacon from the Armada line at the back, and a few just mishmash of bots. Just some of the ones I just sort of particularly like, and some of their mini-cons and that stuck along there. Now coming back to the next shelf, which is mainly Decepticons, we got G1 Megatron, which was one of my original and very first Transformers. You've got the Browning, which I'm not sure if it's a knockoff or an original, but it's the one I did a little repair job on, hence the red sort of cube for the shoulder. I will get around to fixing him up a bit better. We've got the G1 Firecons, Duocons, Reflector, a couple of the little decoys, Sharkticon, all of the G1 Decepticon jets. So you've got the three first ones, and then you've got the cone heads at the back. Also got the E-Hobby Sunstorm at the side there. The G1 Insecticons in a row there behind Reflector. I was going to say twins then, the clones in the Decepticons, Wingspan and Pounce, that they're just missing their guns. Some of the G1 cassettes along the front there, Soundwave's little minions. We've got the deluxe Insecticons along inside there, the triple changers along there, Blitzwing, Astrotrain and Octane. We've got G1 Shockwave at the back, G1 Combaticons complete, G1 Stunticons complete, and the Seacons, although 5 are forming Piranacon, but the other one's just down behind forming a gun version, the little gun mode. Soundwave of course, and then you get some of the junior Headmasters and Target Masters, such as Horrible and Spinister, Fangry. Moving on to this side, we've got the later Decepticon Headmasters and Target Masters. So all of those guys, all looking very nice. Dreadwind and that over that side. Then you've got the two spies, so you've got Punch, Counter Punch and Double Dealer. And then moving on, we've got some of the Action Masters. We've got Banzai-Tron, Devastator, Soundwave, Shockwave, Megatron's tank. I still haven't come across Megatron, I've still been looking for him. I know I've got him somewhere. Then we've got some more of the Action Masters. There's Action Master Prime, Wheeljack's car, Bumblebee and Inferno at the front there. We've got some of the other vehicles at the back. I won't go through all of their names. Gut Cruncher in his jet mode. Got some of the exosuits and some of the more European exclusive bits and bobs on that side, and the deluxe transformable Action Masters as well, tucked round the side there. and a few of their minions. Another one who's missing is Starscream, although I've got his jet there. Still haven't quite tracked him down, so I expect he's in the same box hidden up somewhere in the loft with Megatron. And then we're getting again to another bit of a mishmash sort of a shelf. Figures from everything from Armada right through to the classics sort of line, some of the movie bots, Prime figures. Real mishmash, but some of the figures that I particularly like. Prime, Megatron and Optimus at the back. You've got Straxus and some of the Chug line, as people refer to it. Wolf of Cybertron figures as well in there. But yeah, some really good bots there. Then moving back again to the next shelf, we have, if we move down, one of my old selection boxes which I've shown you before on a video, and we've got then all of my Pretenders. So we got all of the 6 original first Decepticons, the sort of deluxe Pretender shells where you've got the vehicle mode, Pretender shell inside that, and then another little Pretender inside. You've got Carnivac there. For some reason I'm still missing the other one, which for the life of me his name's just escaped me, but the guy what turns into as a Pretender shell of a wild boar. Can't think of it offhand, but I'm sure I've got the shell somewhere, but I've got all the other parts, which is a bit bizarre that I haven't got the shell. Some of the smaller Decepticon Pretenders as well, so I've got Thunderwing, Starscream, Octopunch, who I've given, zoom in a little bit there, given him a aftermarket little trident, something I found at a boot fair, which I think works well with him. And Bludgeon, who I found a mace weapon and a chain, so it's a bit more like the weapons they had in the comics. The original 6 Autobot Pretenders, and then the classic sort of line where they brought out Bumblebee, Jazz and Grimlock, and then some of the smaller ones as well, and then the animal ones of Catilla and Chainclaw. And then you get some of the more deluxe Pretenders, such as Vroom, and the other 2 Autobot vehicle ones as well down there. Then we get into the Micromasters. Pretty much all of the original Micromasters, all of the combining ones there. The white helicopter is a copy, although they did do this version as an Autobot one in Japan. This is a European sort of KO, but still pretty good. Not a bad copy at all. There's the odd little mistake here and there, but worth getting. Just a different version of the Decepticon one, Skyhopper, which I'll show you in a second. You've got all of the little teams, little bases, the Brave version of Sky Gary, which I'm quite happy to have that version. Got Countdown there, who's complete. Go around to the Decepticon shuttle, to some of the other base forming sort of parts, and there's Skyhopper there, and the Autobot headquarters. And then again we got a bit of a couple of random bots that I've just managed to shoehorn in there. A couple of good ones there. I believe that's Cyclonus, isn't it, from Armada, and Bumblebee from the classic sort of line. And then we get into, there's a few leader class figures. We got Leader Megatron from the movie, Sentinel Prime, Ironhide, and another Megatron. And then we've got these Star Wars crossover figures. There's quite a few there. I won't bore you with individual names. Obviously they stand out for who they are, such as Yoda, the Millennium Falcon one there as well. And then as far as bots go, move back round, we've got Armada figure down there of, I think it's Scavenger, I can never remember, but I know it's Autobot. I always think he's a Decepticon though, because he looks like a Constructicon. Animated Megs, who always stays out because my other half thinks he's laughs funny and likes to press his icon on the front. And moving down to the bottom there, we've got the big movie Bumblebee, which does all the lights and sounds. Fortress Maximus, who may not end up staying down there, he may end up somewhere else. And Supreme Devastator. Now I do also, if I move up here, the last shelf I've also combined my Star Wars collection onto here, so we've got almost like an Endor setup. So we've got the Ewok sort of parts. I haven't got the village out yet, so I'll have to rejig that one probably, try and fit it in. We've got Imperial forces, we've got different walkers, TIE fighter, Imperial transport, and some of the Imperial figures. And moving down, we've got Jabba's sort of play set. There's a few modern figures in here too, of different figures what they didn't release back in the day as well, which I've sort of mashed into it. Got the Rancor back there, moving around, Jabba. The Slave Leia is obviously a newer figure, and the Chewbacca's a newer one, but it's the one with the chain, like if he's been captured, so I thought that fitted in very nicely. Moving round, as I said, a couple of other more modern figures such as the Dancer and a couple of the other Jawas, although I've got the original Jawa down the bottom there. Some of the other vehicles, some of the last 17 figures there, like Barada. Slave one tucked in the back there, and a really good figure if you ever get a chance to pick it up is the Bomar Monk, which is that spider walker and the brain inside, what you see at the entrance to Jabba's palace. That was brought out as a special sort of one when they redid the films back in the late 90s, I think that was. Moving down to the next shelf, I've done a bit of a Hoth sort of setup. So you've got Imperial forces with a more modern Darth Vader, with a Rebel transporter at the back for a backdrop, and then you've got the Tauntauns, Snow Speeder, Millennium Falcon, like if it's in the base, and a couple of Rebel little vehicles as well, and also the other Empire Strikes Back sort of figures from Cloud City along there. If you're wondering where Han is, he's inside the cockpit, of course, where he should be. And then the last shelf is almost like a Rebel flight deck. So we've got the reissue A-Wing, what came out when the films were redone, an original B-Wing, some of the ground crew, a few of the more unusual little figures I just tucked in the back there, power unit and repair unit for the vehicles, which is original, was mine when I was a kid, as was a lot of the Star Wars stuff. My original X-Wing, again a little mini rig, and my original Y-Wing and little Imperial shuttle styled mini rig. But what I would point out is, although this seems like a lot of stuff, I've still got all these boxes down here where you can see the Action Force ones. The box underneath the Action Force vehicles is actually still full of the rest of the Action Force vehicles, so once I get those other walls sorted out and other shelving sorted out, they'll be out on display. There's a few more Star Wars bits in the box down there. More Transformers in that box. Then we've got Transformer books, the G1 parts what go to the box on display, some spare parts, another box with Transformers and odds and ends in. Transformers, I've still got Laser Prime, I've still got to try and find somewhere to put him as well. More Transformers, and that box down there is more Transformers. So as you can imagine, there's still quite a lot of my collection I still can't get out, even though I've done my main shelving. I will of course try and fit in more of them as I can, and try and get more stuff sorted out. But for the most part, this is quite a lot of bots. For those that are number orientated, what I've actually got out on display, if you're not counting target masters and headmasters as separate robots, the actual main robot parts, and not including things like the decoys, there's 667 robots out on display. But I will obviously add to that, and as I rejig and sort of fine tune the display sort of side of things, I'll probably be able to fit a few more in as well. But that's about it. So this is why I'm sort of not going out and buying so much, because now I've actually got everything more to hand that I can actually pick things up, have a bit of a look at them, have a play around with them, and with any joy and any chance I should actually manage to get some reviews out on some of the rest of these bots which I haven't actually done reviews on. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that look at my collection, and hopefully the next time I get to do another collection vid, I'll be able to show you, once the other shelving's up, I'll be able to show you Action Force stuff as well. Anyway, thanks for watching.